Hi, I'm Jazz and I'm an alcoholic and I'm codependent. I work a 12-step program and I seek health. I am a seeker and a traveler in my journey. I came to Coda and I was in a relationship that I was trying to save, and I was a control freak and I had low self-esteem. And that was just the beginning of my issues with myself, that stuff that I had to work on. And I've been going there for, approaching 2 years now. When I was in these rooms, what really helped me not only to find my voice and become stronger, but what I noticed in these rooms was I got to see what healthy people looked like. I got to start making friends with healthy people that were like-minded, and there's a community. And also in these rooms was safe women and men and healthy people. And I was a person in situations getting myself entangled with people and then frustrated why it's not working out, or why are they like this? And I'm outward focused and I'm kind of in this victim mentality where why is it like that? And can't they tell and can't they see? And they weren't trustworthy. So I'm in these sticky relationships before I really started recovering in Coda and spinning around, chasing my tail. And I got really sick of that. And so I ended up in Coda. And when I got to keep coming back and seeing people working on themselves and seeing what healthy looked like, wanting to be healthier and trying to achieve that for myself, it gave me something to compare my life at home to. And in my situation, I did eventually leave because I got into that relationship as a very unhealthy person that didn't know myself. And I came to these rooms and now I had the truth. And the truth was telling me that there are people out there that do love and respect me. There are other healthy people out there. There are people that have concern and awareness and check themselves. And it doesn't have to always be this hard. I don't have to be in this relationship and suffer. And part of that suffering, though, is my own doing. I wasn't meeting my own needs in that relationship. I wasn't being a good, healthy person to myself. And so I really needed to have some time to do that work and focus on that part of my recovery. And this has been the most favorite part of my recovery in my journey, is discovering myself, but giving myself the permission to discover myself and figure out those needs and wants and the feelings and thoughts and start separating through all of these categories. Because when I came into Coda, I was just a big ball. I was a big mess and everything was entangled together. I didn't know which direction that I was going. So coming in here, I start to unravel and uncover certain things and gain some strength and momentum to move myself towards my inner compass. And now I'm in a place where that is kind of leading my life and putting me in a direction that I want and need to go, and that my higher power wants and needs me to go. So I'm a bit more in line with that now, but I wasn't before. I was trying to control my whole outside life. And I wasn't doing the inside work as deeply. So healthy people, I find, they're easier to be around. I feel like they're not trying to get anything from me. I feel safe. I feel loved. I have something now to when I'm feeling awful or I'm questioning and I'm doubtful because of the way someone has treated me, instead of trying to correct that person and be like, you're not being very nice and you're being disrespectful, now I'm like, okay, well, that's the way that person is. And I don't need to be here for this. And I don't need to give more of my time and energy. Like, I'm more concerned and aware with what I'm putting out now with certain people. Whereas if I was in a situation with an unhealthy person that was in my life, before I would just put all my energy into like why that certain thing isn't that way, why they are talking to me that way, why they're pushing my boundaries, why they're being disrespectful. I'd be caught up in what they're doing. And instead, I notice it and I take a breath or two, and then I decide what's my next plan of action. Like, am I going to leave? Am I going to go on the phone? Take what I need from whatever that conversation is and leave, detach, not take it on. Maybe what they're saying is not very nice, but I have to keep my own stuff together. Like, I have to say to myself that it's not me, that it's them, it's their projection. I am okay. I am still lovable. I am still me. I still have my recovery. I still have my health. And I do the talk and I remove myself. I don't continue to stay in situations that are harmful to me. And then I don't stay in situations where I find myself being controlling or trying to change or explain or any of that. I don't spend my energy on that anymore. I keep my energy, and this has taken a lot of work to learn how to keep my energy. But I keep it because I value it. And when I have all my energy for my day, I benefit from my energy that I've saved for me. And so does everybody else around me. Instead, I would pour it all out and then I would have nothing left. And the only person that I can be mad at for that is me. So this is something that I have learned in the rooms that I've become aware of and that I protect. And instead of getting mad at people for the way they are, I let it be. I don't agree. I'm not saying that disrespect is okay with me. Inside of me, I say that disrespect is not okay with me. And I prefer to be respected, but I move on. I don't orchestrate a better outcome. I just let the outcome flow by. And then I take care of myself in that situation. I take care of my head and my heart. And I move on. So I came to these rooms, and for, my past is full of bad, toxic, abusive relationships. And I kept getting into these situations and then having to leave them and beat up after and hurt and everything had to come down. It's expensive to leave serious relationships. It's expensive for my time, my energy, my self-worth, being in these unhealthy relationships. And so I don't want that anymore. So I'm doing everything that I can to health up. So in these rooms, I guess one of the beautiful things is I got a little hope that there's more people out there that want healthy relationships. And I had not been around a lot of healthy partners in my time, a lot of healthy men. I hadn't been in a lot of healthy friendships. I was attracting things because of where I was at in my own recovery. And I'm a lot more aware now of who I'm attracting. That also tells me something. And I don't want to attract the wrong thing. I don't want to attract surface level connections. I don't want to attract untrustworthy, unreliable people. I want the real thing, the true thing, the healthy, loving thing. And I find as I grow, I really notice when I have this new respect for myself, and I can also see now when someone else has a respect for themselves and love for themselves and just sticking up for themselves. And I can see that now, but I couldn't see that before because I was stuck in an unhealthy pattern, and I couldn't see it, and I was spinning around, and it wasn't good. But I got to meet some really amazing, safe and healthy men in recovery, and I've gotten to meet some amazing, healthy women in recovery that I look up to, that I talk to, that are going down the path that I want to go. And I can call them and they answer, and I don't feel judged, and I feel heard and I feel seen. And the more that I talk to these people and I'm around these people, my standard changes, because then I'm not tolerating stuff that isn't that anymore. And I'm not around stuff that isn't that anymore. I'm staying at that recovery place that is healthy and safe for me. And I'm moving forward. I'm not going back. I'm not waiting. I'm not dragging, corrosing, leading. I'm not doing that, because what I want in my life is healthy, equal partnership. Another strong person that leads themselves, leads their life, moves their own 2 feet forward, knows how to ask for help, knows how to speak with respectful and kind communication. And that is also what I work on. So I know what I'm bringing to the table. I know what I can give. And I keep that until that same energy matches my energy. Because I have become patient, and I'm okay to wait. I am not hurrying. Nothing comes good from things that happen too quickly. Intimacy that's too quick. Anything, all these things, I notice things take time, and just because I work it, I can see it. And that has been the greatest protection and awareness that I have gotten from this program. So I came into the program unhealthy, and it has made me way more healthy, and it has given me way better eyes to see. So I really don't think I'm going to get into another unhealthy relationship again, because I love myself so much more now, because I respect myself so much more now. So I have boundaries, I have priorities, I have a rite of passage for my own life, and I'm leading my life. And I never had that strength before. And I thought it kind of was healthy until Coda, but now I feel like I'm really, really on my way to good health, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. It's all in line. It is materializing. My life does not look like what it used to look like, and that is a sign too. I left a serious relationship nearing 6 months now, and I had no idea what it was going to look like on the other side. I had so much fear. How am I going to manage it all? What am I going to do financially? There was lots of questions, lots of doubt. And, I needed the time and space to do some of my own personal work and growth. And I'm in that space now, and my financial situation is growing. My energy is way more because I'm not getting drained and sucked from something that was unhealthy. Because when I was in an unhealthy relationship with someone, I also had this unhealthy relationship with myself. So having removed those two things has given me so much more energy. And all that, I'm investing in myself now instead of into this other person, instead of into that unhealthy relationship. And for the first time in my life, I'm working out when I want to work out. I am putting my money towards things that I want to put my money towards. I am not having a long, drawn out discussion, one-sided discussion about where this should go, where that should go, about chores, trying to control things I can't control. And I had to accept my situation and decide if I wanted to continue there, be there or not. And I burned myself out. I was sick there. I was spiritually sick. And I knew that there's probably a better way to live. And I got enough strength to make that decision, but I didn't do it alone. It took a lot of work and time and people to get up to making that decision. And, ever since, in the last 6 months, I've improved my recovery, my spiritual growth, my physical health, my kids' health, everything has improved. And I think now since I've done this work, it's become even more valuable now I appreciate it more and I protect it more. And because I have this taste of peace, real peace, I'm not going to jeopardize that again. I can't. I've done too much work over the years and have been in too many unhealthy situations that didn't work out, that I cannot jeopardize getting into something that doesn't match it or is better than it. And it starts with me. Like if I didn't have this kind of focus and awareness, an ability to get here, like if I didn't get myself to this, it was never going to come. It was never going to come in that relationship. And I begged, but I can't control people, places, and things. If they're not doing the things for themselves, they're not pushing themselves, they're not reciprocating, they're not working on their own healing, there isn't that growth mindset there. Like I can't make it be there. And take it from me, I tried in every way, and I never want to have to try that much again in a relationship. And I think what I'm learning is that if I am putting that much work and time and energy into a relationship, then that's unhealthy for me to be spending that kind of energy into that. It shouldn't, it's, having met healthy people now and knowing healthy people that really work on their recovery and are self-aware and they trust themselves. When I am near healthy people, it is so easy to be me. It's so easy to enjoy myself. It's flowy, it's airy. I feel heard, I feel loved, I feel considered. I don't feel like they want anything from me. I don't feel like I have to prove anything. It's weightless when I'm around other people and the healthy people, and I'm being honest and they're being honest, which means I can trust that what they're saying is true, and that is direct and airy, and there isn't this like questioning, there's no dodginess, it's just straightforward and it's kind, and there's respect on both sides. So I now know when I now have a really good understanding of what healthy is and then what unhealthy is. And I think that's what's really going to protect me from getting in that unhealthiness again. And, just like my other program, recoil like it from a flame, I have developed that same kind of consciousness now with unhealthy people. I can smell it, sense it, feel it when it's there, and I have no desire to get close to that. Where when I was sicker, say, I thought, oh, they need direction. I can help them. I can fix them. And I used to get right involved. And, now they're on their path, has nothing to do with me. I'm looking for the paths where people are just moving themselves in their own direction for themselves. And that is beautiful and attractive and healthy to see and to be around. So I have not experienced a lot of healthy relationships in my life until I really started going to this 12-step program and being around healthy people. And that is what I prefer now. And I still accept people for where they are at. I am not shaming people. I'm not pointing the finger. I'm just letting it be. And I just keep myself together. I am in charge of this package and moving myself through my life connected to my higher power and my recovery program. I keep it together with all of these tools. And I'm not sad that no one's coming anymore. I don't feel, I'm in such a different place, a beautiful place. And it is a lot easier to live my life with a healthy me around healthy people. There just isn't that heaviness anymore. And there's so much more hope now. And I have so much more ability and trust in myself from working the steps and this work. And I'm not pushing people to get to a place that's closer. I'm backing off and I've backed right off in so many ways, even with my family of origin, even with them. And I'm allowed to do that. Like, I didn't have permission for a lot before because I didn't give myself a lot of permission for much before. And now I am the one making the decisions, thinking of the things, feeling the things, listening to my feelings, and then going by that. But when I was cluttered in a bad situation, I couldn't see, I wasn't listening to my feelings. I was tired and I was alone. I was more alone in my last relationship than I am actually being on my own now. And so now I know what I can give to a healthy relationship, and I'm not going to be settling for something that doesn't match that or isn't above that. And that is to be able to just to be happy, feeling connected, and in this living this life now with myself, not feeling lonely, is something I've never actually experienced before, because I'm not looking for outside sources to fill me. I don't need anything from anyone else. I'm not trying to get anything from someone. I'm not even trying to get a thank you. I'm just taking care of my own needs and safety and living my own life. And I wasn't in that lane as gracefully before as I am now. And I think that is just one of the greatest gifts of recovery. And I would not have understood that in my first meeting or 3 or 4. It took working it. It took working it through all the pain and loss and grief to get to this point today. And so I got me, and I got a healthy me, and that is beautiful, and that is definitely enough. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. Okay, so thanks.